こんにちは、ジャパニーズアーモンのミサです。Hey guys! This time we are going to learn how to make the past negative form of verbs informally. So informal speech when talking to strangers or someone older, you'd use the must form with verbs. So for example, I go or I will go, we would say 行きます、行きます which is from the plain form of 行く right? And if you want to negate 行きます you simply change ます into ません and say 行きません That means I don't go or I will not go. If you want to make the past tense of 行きます then you'd say 行きました行きました So you change ます into ました And then past negatives you'd change ます into ませんでした which is a combination of ません the negation plus でした which actually is used with nouns and it means was. I was a teacher, for example, I would say 先生でした先生でしたませんでした is used with verbs and it means did not. So 行きませんでした means I didn't go. So 行きます行きません行きました行きませんでした Now we know how to do most of them informally. So 行く means I go or I will go informally. When talking to friends, you can say 明日スーパーに行く I will go to supermarket tomorrow. 明日スーパーに行く And we also know how to say I don't go or I will not go informally, which we learned in previous videos. You change the last u into a and then put nai, right? So 行く becomes 行かない行かない So I will not go to work would be 仕事に行かない仕事に行かない And we also learned how to make the past tense informally, which we use the te form. The te form of 行く is 行って行って And by simply changing te into ta, you get the informal past tense 行った行った went. So 行きました went formally 行った went informally. So レストランに行った for example means I went to the restaurant. Now the only thing we're missing is the informal past negative form. So and if you've learned the conjugation of the e adjectives, it should be easy-ish. So the negative of 行く is 行かない right? 行かない and ない has got an e at the end which makes ない an e adjective. I know it's confusing because 行かない is technically a verb but would act like an e adjective because of the ending. So do you remember how we make the past tense of an e adjective? For example, 暑い hot. If you want to say it was hot, you'd say 暑かった暑かった So you change the last e into かった right? To make the past tense. So you do the same for ない You change ない into なかったなかった So if you want to say I didn't go, you change 行かない into 行かなかった行かなかった Once you master the informal negative form, you simply just need to change ない into なかった there. So let's review the negative forms. From there, make the past negative form. Okay, so the easiest verb, 見る we had this verb so many times. The negation of 見る is 見ない見ない right? So you just change ない into なかった So you say 見なかった for I didn't see, I didn't watch. So I didn't watch TV last night, for example. Last night, there are a few ways to say it. If you look up it in a dictionary, it might say 昨晩 or 昨夜. But 昨晩 and 昨夜 are quite formal. What I would use for last night normally is 昨日の夜. You just simply say yesterday's night. 昨日の夜. Ban is like evening, but 夜 is more late in the evening, night time. So 昨日の夜 last night didn't watch TV テレビを見なかったテレビを見なかった So 昨日の夜テレビを見なかった is how you say I didn't watch TV last night. What about today I didn't eat breakfast? So today you can say 今日は and breakfast, do you remember? 朝ごはん and didn't eat. So to eat 食べる the negation of 食べる becomes 食べない right? Simply get rid of る and put ない or an ire ending verbs. So 食べない becomes 食べなかった for the past negative. So today I didn't eat breakfast would be 今日は朝ごはんを食べなかった今日は朝ごはんを食べなかった What about the verb to borrow? To borrow we say 借りる So the negation of 借りる is 借りない And the past negative? 借りなかった If you want to say I didn't borrow money we say お金 So お金を借りなかったお金を借りなかった And this verb 借りる is a bit weird because when you want to say borrow from someone, we say someone に借りる So the に particle is usually used as to, towards, like showing direction. But with certain verbs like to receive, to borrow, we use the に particle as from, which is weird, but you just need to deal with it. Alright, so if you want to say I didn't borrow money from mum, so you want to say from mum, you can say お母さん So お母さんに which normally means to mum, but it means from mum because of the verb 借りる Alright, so let's try I didn't borrow money from mum お母さんにお金を借りなかったお母さんにお金を借りなかった And the verb to give, we say あげる So I don't give, I will not give, it'd be あげない So if you want to say I will not give a Christmas present to my family, for example. Family, you'd say 家族 And to my family, this to, we use the に particle as a normal usage. So you say 家族に and Christmas present. Can you guess why we say it? クリスマスプレゼント So the negation of あげる is あげない So if you want to say I will not give Christmas present to my family, you'd say to my family first, then an object Christmas present, and then will not give. So 家族にクリスマスプレゼントをあげない家族にクリスマスプレゼントをあげない And if you want to say I didn't give a Christmas present to my family, then you simply change the last verb あげない into あげなかった So the whole sentence would be 家族にクリスマスプレゼントをあげなかった But あげる can be only used to mean I give something to someone or someone gives something to someone. So you cannot use あげる in a sentence where someone giving me. So when you want to say someone gives me something, you'd use a different verb くれる So if you, for example, want to say Father Christmas didn't give me any present. Father Christmas or Santa Claus, we say Santa-san. So you'd start a sentence with Santa-san and say サンタさんはプレゼントをくれなかったサンタさんはプレゼントをくれなかった You don't have to say 私に because くれる already has the meaning of to give me. So くれなかった on its own does the job. We mean didn't give me. Alright, what about the verb to read? To read, 読む. The negation of 読む is 読まない. 読まない. Do you remember if the verb doesn't have an いる or える ending, you change the last う sound into あ and then put ない. So 読む becomes 読まない. 読まない. The past negative of 読む would be 読まなかった. 読まなかった. So if you want to say I didn't read the newspaper. Newspaper we say 新聞. 新聞. So you'd say 新聞を読まなかった. 新聞を読まなかった. If you want to say I didn't read this morning's newspaper or this morning, you could say 今日の朝. 今日の朝. But we have a separate word for this morning, which is 今朝. 今朝. So you say 今朝の新聞. 今朝の新聞. 今朝の新聞を読まなかった. 今朝の新聞を読まなかった. And to drink, similar to the verb to read, we say 飲む. 飲む. So if you want to say I don't drink, you say 飲まない. 飲まない. And I didn't drink would be 飲まなかった. 飲まなかった. If you want to say I didn't drink anything, you'd say 何も飲まなかった. 何も飲まなかった. 何 means what, but by adding も and the negated verb, it means nothing. So whenever you want to make a sentence not anything or basically nothing, you'd say 何も and the negated verb. Remember, you cannot say 何も飲む to mean I don't drink anything. It doesn't make sense. You have to negate the verb. 何も requires a verb to be in the negative. 何も飲まなかった didn't drink anything. So for example, I didn't drink anything at the party. You can say パーティーで何も飲まなかった. パーティーで何も飲まなかった. What about to take a picture? To take a picture, we say 写真を撮る. 写真を撮る. 写真 means photograph and 撮る is to take. Now, how do you negate the verb 撮る? Don't be tricked by the last る. 食べる、見る、寝る、起きる. For those verbs, you just get rid of る and put ない. But that's because they have いる、える endings. 撮る has おる ending, which conjugates like other endings. So you conjugate 撮る like 飲む or 読む. So 撮る becomes 撮らない, 撮らない. So that's I don't take. And if you want to say I didn't take, then 撮らなかった, 撮らなかった. So I didn't take a picture would be 写真を撮らなかった. 写真を撮らなかった. So if you want to say I didn't take many pictures or I didn't really take pictures, you can use the word あんまり or more informally あんまり and say あんまり写真を撮らなかった. あんまり写真を撮らなかった. That's how you'd say I didn't take many pictures. In an affirmative sentence, in a sentence like I took a lot of pictures, you'd use the word たくさん and for example say たくさん写真を撮った. たくさん写真を撮った. But in a negative sentence, not many, you'd use the word あんまり. So あんまり写真を撮らなかった. あんまり写真を撮らなかった. By the way, 撮ら is how we say tiger. So how would you say I didn't take a picture of a tiger? A picture of a tiger. How would you do that? Basically, tiger's picture. So, トラの写真 is how you say a picture of a tiger. So, A not B means B of A. So, トラの写真. and didn't take. 虎の写真を撮らなかった。虎の写真を撮らなかった。What about the word to stand? 立つ、立つ。So 立つ becomes 立たない in negation. 立たない。You want to say I didn't stand, you'd say 立たなかった。立たなかった。Sounds quite funny. 立たなかった。But more funny word would be I didn't win. Do you remember how we say to win? We have a dish that has a similar sound, basically the same. Do you know how we say breaded pork in Japanese? We say katsu. If you're not a vegetarian, I would recommend you have katsu or katsudon if you go to Japan. Anyway, katsu can also mean to win as a verb, katsu. So the negation of katsu would be katanai, katanai. So that's I don't win, I will not win. You want to say didn't win, you say katanakatta, katanakatta. Try saying katanakatta 5 times quickly. Katanakatta, 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 katanakatta. Sounds weird, right? It even sounds weird to me. So yeah, try. Can you do it 5 times quickly? Yeah. Anyway, katanakatta, didn't win. So for example, if you want to say the Japanese football team didn't win. So football or soccer, we say soccer. We use the American word for football. So soccer, soccer. Team, チーム. So サッカーチーム. And Japanese, you'd say 日本の. So 日本のサッカーチームは didn't win. 勝たなかった。日本のサッカーチームは勝たなかった。What about the verb to buy? 買う. Remember how a verb with the u ending conjugates? You change u into wa and put nai for informal negation. So 買う becomes 買わない、買わない. So didn't buy would be 買わなかった、買わなかった. If you change the intonation 買わなかった, it means there was no river, since 川 means river and なかった can mean didn't exist. So 川なかった means the river wasn't there or there was no river. But 買わなかった as a verb means I didn't buy. Anyway, if you want to say I didn't buy anything, do you remember how we say not anything? We use 何も、何も, right? So 何も買わなかった。何も買わなかった is how you say I didn't buy anything. For example, if I want to say did you buy something on Black Friday? We don't have the culture of Black Friday in Japan, so we would just say Black Friday, Black Friday. And on Black Friday, this is a day, so we would use the ni particle to indicate the time as well. So Black Friday ni. And then if I want to say something, we'd say 何か、何か. So 何も means nothing or not anything, whilst 何か means something. If you want to make 何か sound more informal, you can say なんか、なんか. 買った is the formal past tense of 買う. So ブラックフライデーに何か or なんか買った. Black Friday に何か買った. And if you didn't buy anything, you'd say 何も買わなかった。何も買わなかった. So leave a comment what you bought, and if you didn't buy anything, say 何も買わなかった. What about to sing? To sing, we say 歌う、歌う. So I didn't sing, it'd be 歌はなかった。歌わなかった. But to say 言う、言う. So I don't say, I will not say is 言わない, right? So you change ない into なかった. So 言わなかった、言わなかった. So that's I didn't say. For example, my father didn't say anything. My father, you'd say 父 in formal speech. But if you want to just say my dad, informally you can say お父さん, お父さん. And since we are doing the informal speech, let's use お父さん. So お父さんは and said nothing or didn't say anything. 何も言わなかった. お父さんは何も言わなかった. About the verb to talk, to speak. 話す, 話す. The negation is 話さない, 話さない. And didn't talk, didn't speak could be 話さなかった, 話さなかった. What about the verb to do? する. If you want to say I don't do, I will not do, you say しない, しない. Do you remember this is an irregular verb, so you just need to remember しない. And I didn't do would be しなかった, しなかった. So I didn't study yesterday. Yesterday we say 昨日, 昨日. So 昨日 didn't study. 勉強しなかった. 昨日勉強しなかった. And another irregular verb, 来る, which means to come. The negation of 来る is really weird. Do you remember? 来ない, 来ない. So didn't come would be 来なかった, 来なかった. So do you remember nothing? We say 何も using the word 何, which means what, right? 何も. If you want to say nobody, you'd use the word who plus も. So who we say 誰, 誰, and nobody we would say 誰も, 誰も. And if you want to say nobody came, you'd still have to use the past negative of the verb and say 誰も来なかった、誰も来なかった. Nobody came. If you want to say nobody came to my party, then you'd say 私のパーティーに誰も来なかった。私のパーティーに誰も来なかった。Sweet! Next time we are going to learn how to say I haven't done something, which is different from I didn't do something. If you found this video helpful, please give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And also I'm on Patreon now, and if you have time, please check out my page. And if you'd like to support me any way possible, please consider supporting me on Patreon. Alright, じゃあありがとうございます。じゃあまたね。バイバイ。